Starting out on Wednesday morning. So last video we left off on Monday when we got the car braced, and Tuesday had a bunch of snow, so I couldn't even make it in. But we're starting right now. We got this thing up on the lift so we can start getting what's left of the body bolts out, so we can get this body up off the chassis. And I'm not using wide angle because for some reason indoors with non-natural light, the wide angle looks all kind of grainy. So we're just going to do some standard camera today. But anyway, as you can tell, once again, got it all braced. Once we get this body up off of the chassis, I'll be able to finish cutting everything out. And then once we have the rockers and the floor, obviously we'll be ready to go put that new stuff in, get that stuff cut out since we have it. So, well, probably get back with you here when we get this body off. All right, as you saw in the time lapse, I went through and we're getting all the body bolts out of it. What I didn't film was the back two body bolts, and they are encased in these little holes right there, and couldn't get anything to them, so I used the little die grinder with the deburr tool. These things are awesome. And just ground the heads off of them, knocked them out with a hammer and a punch. And now what I realized I had to do is I got to get this back bumper off. As you can tell, it kind of sits recessed into the body a little bit, so that's got to come off so the body can come up. So that should be the last thing we have left to do, and get that guy off and be ready to go. As you can see, chassis is all dropped down. And the reason the chassis looks so high is we have the lift extensions on it, just because this car sits so much higher because of the gasser deal. So quarters are nice and solid, so we put some rags in there and we're able to just drop it right down on there. Not something you would normally do if a car wasn't solid back there. And that's just temporary for now. Got it supported up at the pinch welds up front, and we will eventually move over to using the front pedestals. But got the chassis out from underneath it, so now we are ready to get the parking brake cables loose from the underside of this floor, and I guess cut the rest of it out. Most of the floor cut out today. I'll kind of show you where I'm leaving off for the day. I got the rest of the stuff cut out along here and up to the pinch where this rocker was at, because obviously it was already cut out. Got it trimmed all the way up to the pinch. And then this side I got the cover plate off from that covers the factory wire loom, because it tucks down in here and there's a cover plate that goes over there. So I got it off, and I'm leaving this rocker in place, as well as some of this floor here, so that way I can see exactly how the factory did it when I go to replace the rocker. That way I do everything factory and proper. And I'm leaving this back portion of the floor in, so when we get a new floor tomorrow, we can see exactly how far up it goes. So I didn't want to cut too much or bother cutting off too little, so that way we can see exactly where it goes and measure it and cut it out right. So first thing tomorrow, we're going to start with getting the back portion of that cut out, as well as that rocker, and start getting that new floor in. Got the new floor in, so we'll kind of show you what it entails. So got the whole brand new floor. This is the front of it here. Here's your trans tunnel. There's your pinch weld up front, which butts up against that pinch weld right there. And then, as you can tell, Here's the rear, well, not the full rear, but like the mid rear body mounts. And it comes up right above those plates here and has the flat lip. And that is actually, if you look, comes up right above those body mount plates. So it comes up right up to this, about this portion here, and there's a little flat spot behind it that lays flat. So we'll have to remove this back seat brace deal and kind of try drill the spot welds out, pull it forward, and then cut it all out from there. And then we should be able to get this rocker out and get this new floor in. Basically just slide it in right from the bottom. Not sure if we're gonna move the chassis yet or not, but if we do, I'll get back with you and let you know how we're gonna do it. All right, we got the little plasma cutter hooked up. Got it grounded, and we're gonna get the back of this floor out. So we'll see how good this little cheap guy works on the floor. See if we can get it cut out. Back of the floor out. So as you saw in the time lapse, we fired up, and what actually I think I discussed it in the previous clip as well, the little plasma cutter over there, and ripped right through it. So I just got to get the last of that floor that's spot welded to the brace, got to get that off. And then now the next step is to this little panel. These are actually 3 separate pieces. That's a separate, and separate. And then I guess 4 total with that brace. So what I got to do is get these spot welds out, pull that bottom brace out, and just kind of tweak those up out of the way and finish cutting along here. And then basically go through and start cleaning up the edges of the wheel wells and get some more of the inner rockers out and such. And then probably be ready to pull this guy out. And after that, we'll be ready to slip in that new floor. Well, up here we got a little bit more work to do up here as well as patching that area. So that's what today will probably consist of, is patching that hole I just showed and getting the rest of this all cut out for the new floor. Floor off of here. So we got the spot welds that we're holding it on drilled out, and went ahead and used the 90 and highlighted this area. As you can see, all the dark spots are all the factory pinch welds. So what has to be done is I've got to drill every single one of these out. So every dark spot you see, I have to drill out. Sucks really bad, but we got new drill bits and one big one to kind of hog the outside out to be able to pop it off. And then we have to go up to these and do them at the bottom as well, just this lower little portion, to be able to pop these separate from this piece. And then after that, we should be ready to cut this little back pedestal off, which is where the new floor will lay. Might even do a flange deal, not sure. We'll figure that out when we get there. But as for now, probably set up another time lapse for you. Since we got so many of those going, might as well just keep it going and get these things drilled out. As you can tell, we got the back portion all out. These braces in this back panel were a nightmare. There's a lot of spot welds, and that little time lapse didn't show nearly how bad it was. There's actually 8 spot welds in this one little corner, which is why I actually have to just replace the lower section of it. But other than that, we got it out. Got the edges of the wheel well all cleaned up, not done, but kind of cleaned up for now. Got a little bit of replacing to do here. Then what I'm going to do now is get the plasma cutter fired up and cut along this pinch weld seam all the way down, and then go along the bottom and do that on both sides of the car. That way the inner rockers are out, and then once those are out, I'll be able to come up here, replace this section, this piece to actually make new, which is nice, replace this hole, and get this inner flange off, and then this thing will be ready for the new floor and new rockers. So hopefully the next clip we'll have these inner rockers out and ready to move forward, getting that out and prepping for that floor. That's that. Got the inner rockers cut out on both sides. Front to back, all the way to the wheel well, and got that last little section done. Here, hopefully we can see a little better. There we go. So that outer rocker is ready to be cut out. This flange is ready to be cut off. That inner is cut out. And a little patchwork there and a little patchwork up there. And we should be ready to get this floor installed. So we'll probably pick back up tomorrow. So I probably am going to end this video off here. So that way the new video will probably start off with getting the chassis out from underneath it and getting the new floor in it. So stay tuned for that next video. You should see a brand new floor in this thing. So yeah, we'll just call it there. Give us a like and subscribe and share.